Hey everybody, today I'm going to be reviewing the Astro Pneumatic Model 6120 4-piece T-handle speed bar set. I first saw these on Amazon.com about a month ago, and I actually was really excited because a friend of mine who works on motorcycles all the time owns a competitor's brand that are also the speed bar sets, but they're not adjustable. These are fully adjustable and they have 4 positions. So depending on what you're working on, you can keep a lot more stability depending on where you have that sleeve. And I'm going to show you now what comes in this kit. I actually have already taken it out of the box and I placed it in one of my shallow drawers in my tool cart. And it fits in here really great. It comes with a foam tool tray, not one of the plastic blow mold ones. That is a two-tone, red and black, so you can see it's a real nice color contrast for your toolbox. And everything is held in here very well. Just to give you a little comparison as to why I like these versus a traditional T-handle with, let's say, an extension. Here would be a traditional T-handle and an extension. And if you're looking at this and then you look at the Astro one, you know, they look very similar. But here's the difference. With a traditional one, your hand is going to create friction around here, and you can turn it, but as soon as you let your finger off of it, it's going to stop immediately. So it's not going to keep turning itself once your finger stops moving it. Where the Astro Pneumatic one, because it has this adjustable sleeve on here that locks in 4 different positions, you hold on to that and then the T-handle is going to spin freely inside of it. So you can see, just holding it on with my hand, it will just keep on spinning around. And that really saves you a lot of time when you're putting fasteners back together. You know, a bolt or maybe a nut does not need to have a lot of force put on it until it reaches the bottom. And that's where this will come into play. You can put on a lot of torque with this, but you can also save yourself a lot of time because it will really give you the speed comparable to a power tool or an air tool, but it's not going to damage the fastener when it hits the bottom, and it's not going to round that head off or it's not going to snap it off. So I'm going to show you some clips of this now in action, and I think you're going to be just as impressed as I am. I'm going to be replacing the valve cover gaskets as well as the upper and lower intake manifold gaskets on this 2001 Lincoln LS. And for demonstration purposes, I have the 1/2-inch drive T-handle as well as the 3/8-inch drive T-handle. I have an 8mm socket on this. That will be removing the bolt on the upper intake manifold. And then I have the 1/2-inch drive, which I'm going to use to remove a bolt on the valve cover. So we'll stick this right on the bolt head itself, grab onto the top of the T-handle, and then we're going to break the tension free. Now that the tension is broken free, you grab onto the sleeve and then it will back off very quickly with just the spin of your finger. And alright, we're completely out now. It's much faster than a ratchet. And you're not using power tools or pneumatic tools, so you don't have really a chance of damaging that fastener or rounding off the bolt head. So in order to reinstall this, you'll put it right back on the bolt, hold on to the sleeve itself, and then just let it run right down. If you were putting on anything really, if you're working on a motorcycle, you're working on an engine, this really speeds it up and you're not going to run the risk of damaging any of your fasteners or any of the threaded holes because you're not going to put on a ton of pressure with this. You'll come back with a torque wrench later on and do that. Now with your upper intake manifold, there's an 8mm socket. Here's one of the 8mm upper intake manifold bolts. We'll put this on here and then we'll crack the tension free. And now that it's crack free, we'll hold on to the sleeve. And you can see just with a twist of your finger, actually just hitting it, it's spinning right out and it pops the bolt right out. So it is extremely fast. You're not dealing with the noise of a pneumatic impact or a pneumatic air ratchet. It's something you can do and it will be very quiet. You won't have the complaints coming from your neighbors or other people in your household trying to sleep. And you can put a lot of torque back on here. And then you can also come back with your torque wrench and make sure everything is torqued down correctly. The tray fits in a toolbox drawer very well. You can see this is a very shallow drawer, and with the foam tool tray that they include, the two-tone black top with the red base, it fits right in here, and they have a really good layout with this. They have the 1/4 inch on the top, then the 1/2 inch, then the 3/8, and then the 1/4 inch hex, which you'd use for bits. So whether you had Torx bits or just various bits, Phillips or straight, you could use that T-handle. So a few things I want to show you. With the 1/4 inch drive, you know, they all work pretty much the same. They have the 4 locking positions, and you can take the sleeve completely off. It is machined to fit in here very tightly, and in the center of this, you can see there's 2 little ball bearings, and I think you can see there's 2 little divots in there. And it really fits on this extremely well, and then with the grooves that they have cut in the shaft itself, that's what those little ball bearings are attaching to, and that keeps it from sliding back and forth without you releasing the quick release. It's very similar to like an air chuck. So you just put that back on there if you need to take it off to clean it or something. It will lock back on the bottom position, and you can see it spins fine. And then the second position up, well, oops, there we go. Second position spins fine, and so on and so forth. But they really are machined very well, and I don't run into anything with a wobble. That was another concern of mine. So just watch this, and I'll spin it, and you can see there's no wobble in it. So, you know, that's a big concern when you especially are going to have let's say a deep well socket on the end of here, and it might pop it out that far. You don't want any sort of a wobble, and with these, I have not ran into that at all. So that's the 1/4" drive one. You've already seen the 1/2" drive. It works the exact same way, and you know, it has more weight behind it, so I think that it would probably run a fastener down quicker. But on to the 3/8, that removed the upper intake manifold bolt. Same way, it really spins nicely. And it also, all of them have the exact same locking positions. The only thing different other than the size is also the size of that sleeve. And they are aluminum sleeves. The handle, of course, is steel. However, these are anodized aluminum sleeves that they have on here, the adjustable sleeves. And then finally, your 1/4" hex drive. So if you put a bit in the end of here, you would have no problem using this as basically a speed screwdriver. So we'll slide that down a little bit, and with less weight, it's not going to spin, you know, as much as one of the bigger ones. But it still does spin, and it spins just fine. Especially if you're running your finger around with it, it's going to do great. So, you know, you could put nut drivers on the end here. You could really utilize this however you wanted. And having the entire 4-piece set gives you a lot of options versus some of the competitors that only come with the 1/4" and 3/8" drive. This comes with the 1/2" drive as well as the 1/4" hex. So hopefully now you can see how much time you'll save with the Astro Pneumatic Model 6120 4-piece T-handle speed bar set. Like I said in some of my other videos, I am not a fan of tool trays whatsoever, but these new foam ones that some of the manufacturers are including, I really do like, and I think they're going to hold up for many years of use. Where the plastic blow mold ones tend to crack and get really, really dirty, and I typically just throw those out. These foam ones I do like, and I'm really happy to see Astro included it with this set. If you like this video, please click like. If you like my channel, please click subscribe, and thanks for watching.